So the bit you're going to want to use is a T10 torque bit. As you can see, my drill is well used. So you're going to remove all the screws surrounding the housing. Make sure you don't miss any. There's no hidden ones. So you should be able to split this case at this point from the bottom like this. And then you should be able to work it all the way up. Now, as you can see, this has been heating up a lot. And all this debris, this is what stinks when you're using it. All this magnetic material and dirt and crud. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get all this cleaned up. And what I'm going to use to clean it is some electrical cleaner. For the case, what you could do what I'm going to do is remove all the electronics. Just like that. You can even remove the thing. Now this, I'm just going to take and use some Dawn and a toothbrush and clean the casing up. And I'll be right back. Alright, so to clean it, I'm just going to throw some Dawn in here. As you can see, that black, that's where, you know, you don't want that stuff. You're just going to grab it, throw it in the Dawn, and you'll be able to scrub most of this pretty clean. So that way when we put it back together, there's no dirt and grime and basically, you know, I'm going to do it a little bit better, but you want it somewhat like that, you know. Look at the difference already. And then I'll show you how I clean up the motor, and then your drill will be like brand new. Press pause. Alright, now that you have everything nice and cleaned up, best you can. You're not going to get it perfect unless you're going to sit there and sand it. I'm not worried about that. Make sure you don't lose your clip. I'll show you how to put that back in. Make sure you clean your buttons. And now for the engine or motor, what we're going to do is we're going to lightly wipe all this stuff away and then hit it with the electrical cleaner. Now this gear, you can lightly just kind of jiggle it apart and it'll come out of the planetary gears. And I'll show you how to re-oil that. But the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to focus on the engine here, the motor. Like I said, I'm going to wipe it first. So for the motor, you're going to want to wipe off as much of this grease and dirt as you can, just by hand like this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to spray it afterwards with the cleaner. But the more of this you can get off, the less the chemical has to do. Now you're just going to take the chemical and you can see all the dirt and grime coming out of that. Look at it in the sink. Now you're going to want to spin this a couple times so you can get in different areas of the motor. You can also clean off the terminals. But as you can see, this is what that stink is when you use your drill. You're actually like burning dirt. So you want to get that as clean as you can so that you can see the coils. I don't know if you can see it in there. You can see the gold coils in there. Let me see if I turn the light on. You want to get those gold coils in there nice and clean like that. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the planetary gears, and then I'll show you how to oil it. Also, you can take these two screws out. Just be careful. And you can pull this top lid right off and spray down inside of there and get it even cleaner. You just carefully pull it off. And now you have access to these holes here. And you can see the dirt and grime dripping out of there. And then what you want to do, now that you have your motor nice and clean, everything's nice and clean, you're going to take, I don't know if this is a seal, no, this is just dirt and grease. So you wipe all this off. We are going to be using a small bit of grease on this. Alright. As you can see, there is grease right there. So what we're going to do, we're going to put grease back on this gear, which you can put this back on. This doesn't have to be staying off. I believe that tab lines up with that. I'll have to check my video. It might go like that, but I'll check my video and tell you. Alright, so this little tab goes opposite of this. So you want the tab facing the smooth side. So now the motor is all clean and ready to go. Now we're going to turn our attention to this. Basically, you're going to do the exact same thing to this. You're going to want to get it really clean, and then we're going to add some grease to the planetary gears. Alright, so now what you're going to do, you're just going to get some multi-purpose grease, just regular grease. And the way I clean this is I didn't spray it or anything. I just used a Q-tip and a paper towel and kind of just wiped it clean like that. Nothing crazy. What you're going to want to do is you can pull this out with your nail or whatever you want to use. Don't forget the orientation of the plate. And you're just going to put some grease right in the planetary gear. What I like to do is kind of fill the center like that. Then put your lid back on. Make sure it goes on the exact same way. Just like that. Now that's all you need to do for the grease, because now that there's like a little puddle there, that puddle will end up going into this gear a bit anyway, so you'll be alright. It's probably a little bit too much here. After you put the plate on, you can kind of get rid of some of it. But you don't want to go crazy moving those gears around with that plate off, because then they'll move around on you. All right. All right, so this is your high and low gear. So basically, you can see here, there's a little tab. That tab goes on this wire. So we'll grab our motor. Make sure the tab faces up. There we go. Put your tab on. You're going to want that to fit right in there like that, so you can switch your high and low gear. We're going to reroute this. This is your forward and reverse. This only fits one way, so you can't mess it up. Now we're going to fit all this back in here. Just like that. Reroute your LED. These wires will push down with a nail, or if you ain't got a nail, you can use a flathead screwdriver. You don't want these wires to get crimped. There you go. Just like that. Then we'll put our magnet back in. Just like that. Now this clip, it has these two tabs. Try to show you here. There's a tab here on each side. Those tabs have to fit behind those bumps. There's a bump here and a bump here. You just set it right there like that. Don't forget your bubble. You can stick your bubble back in. Now this you may need to wiggle a bit to get everything to kind of fall into place correctly. You may need to move a couple switches, but it shouldn't take much force at all to go back together. Once you get, I would screw this one and this one across like on a diagonal, just to hold everything in place. Make sure your button works. Now you can tighten everything back down. Now don't go crazy tightening it, it only goes into plastic. So you can strip these if you over tighten it. All right, put your battery on and off you go. And that smell is gone. Sounds good. Switch it. Your light is working. So I hope this helped you out. And Ryobi drill, reconditioned and working like new again. Thanks for watching.